So welcome to the environment modeling sessions. And now after we modeled the jack, I really had no idea, what to do for the environment. I gave it some thought and decided that it would be maybe best to do like a turntable environment. And we're going to explore that idea in these modeling sessions and see how it turns out. So here we are, starting to create the environment of the turntable. And we're going to start with a cross. And this is a disk that I'm starting from. So right now I'm just kind of thinking about subdivisions, because I'm going to use this disk to extrude from here the pieces of the cross, the sides of the cross. And right now I'm not too worried about too much worrying about the symmetry here. And just kind of slowly building the form of the cross. I kind of want it to be something like this, like a cross with a circle in the middle, where it kind of has that old school look of the cross. And now just extending it to add a little bit of thickness there. And with a quick use of the mirror, we're going to get the other side as well. So we just need to weld these points. And close up this hole to have ourselves just 4-point and 3-point polygons. So yeah, this is the base for our cross. Now the next thing I'll be doing is just adding a bit of sharpness. So when we go into subpatches, when you go into subpatch mode, it's still gonna retain that form that we want. And yeah, that's more or less our tombstone. And now, just as we did before, we want to kind of jitter it up a little bit to break up those perfect lines that we get. Now, just to add a little bit to the realism. And that's never, you're never gonna make a mistake if you jitter things up like this. There's really things which are perfectly straight. They never look that good. Unless, of course, you're making, you're trying to simulate that, perfectness. But right now we want, to get this kind of weathered look to our model. Kind of handcrafted cross. And yeah, it's looking pretty good. And that's our first tombstone, and now we're up to create the other tombstone. And this one is going to be a bit different shape, just to you know, play things up a little bit. And it's going to go into another classic tombstone shape, which is something like this. And now, just to add a little, you know, just to add something that's happening on the surface, it's not completely flat. I'm just adding a few bevels here to make it a bit more interesting. And again, just extruding to add that thickness. And yeah, that looks pretty good. I'm just kind of toying here with the shape, adding a little bit of taper to it. Yeah, but before we get to that, let's first add a few subdivisions. So the taper has more points with which it can work. It was just a little bit too straight right now. Yeah, that wasn't connected, so BenzoPro didn't go all the way around, but it's a quick fix just to delete and mirror the side which was BenzoPro. And now I'm using taper again, but this time I got just a little bit more points to work with to get the shape that I want. A little bend. And yeah, it's looking pretty good. Now just to add sharpness with the BenzoPro to these edges. So once we go into subpatch, we're going to get a nice sharp edges for our tombstone. And yeah, we made a quick work out of it, and that's another tombstone. So let's just clean that up. And yeah, I liked how the taper looked on that one, and I'll also do it here, and also add a little bit of a bend there. So those are our two tombstones, and yeah, pretty happy how that looks. Now just to kind of position them where I would like them to be in our environment. So again, you know, just kind of twisting it a little bit in different axes to, you know, we don't want anything to be completely straight towards the camera. I just want to add a little bit of crookedness to enhance the realism. And yeah, here's what we have. And I'm just starting to place Jack a little bit more, you know, in accordance to our emerging environment, and kind of seeing the size of the two tombstones in relationship to Jack. We don't want them to be too big or too small. But I'm yeah, quite happy with what we have so far. And yeah, this is the kind of reference image for the fence that I have in my head of creating next. I also want our turntable, to be surrounded by a fence to add more to that graveyard feeling. And yeah, let's get to that. And the fence is basically going to be a lot of extruding, beveling, and a little bit of stretching. So just kind of starting to build it from down from the bottom of the fence upwards. Adding some subdivisions to get our sharp edges. So slowly starting to build that, and it's a quick way to create, this intersection. Yeah, pretty happy with the way that looks. And yeah, from here we're going to add a polygon that's going to be our bevel point, polygon for bevel. And now just kind of beveling that shape. And now, right now, I'm not worried too much about the distance between these different features of the fence, because that's easily adjustable. So I'm just kind of creating this contour of the fence. Once I'm happy with that, we can just taking into consideration the whole length of the fence, kind of place those variations where they're supposed to be. And once we go into subpatch mode, we can really see how things are looking, and add sharpness to the areas that we want sharper, and some we just want to be a little bit more curvy. And the next thing I want to do is this ornament here, and for that, we're also going to just kind of go and extrude the shape, and then just add a little bit of thickness, and that's gonna be that. And this is a very quick method to create these ornaments. Just kind of grow them from one polygon, whether it is a box or a disc, depending on what you want to create. This I want it to be a little bit more boxy. And even a box, if you don't add subdivisions when you go into subpatch, is going to be pretty round. So that always gives you an option whether you want it to be a bit more sharper, or you want it to be, like made out of a tube. So just a little tweaking of the form here before I go and add some thickness. Now, one thing that you're going to see is when you extrude, or even if you use smooth shift, you are going to lose the side that you started the extrude from. So a good thing is to do is just to select all the polygons before and copy them, and then you do smooth shift or extrude, and then you just paste those polygons that you copied, and that's going to be your other side. And then you're going to have a nice, box with all the sides there, and then it's just a matter of welding the points together, and that'll be that. That's our ornament. Now I did want it to be a little bit sharper, a little bit more boxy. It kind of add to the contrast of the roundness of the fence. I didn't want it to be made out of tube, And now just kind of adding a little bit of sharpness to the other elements of the fence. And we can see how our fence is slowly starting to grow. And it's all basically made from this disc that we started from. And I want to isolate this part here because I want to have two of those. So it's not much easier just to copy paste it. And just kind of welding that up. And adding again one more edge loop. And yeah, pretty happy with the way that's looking. And I just want to add another one here. So cutting and pasting that part to make it into two pieces, and inserting one more over there. And yeah, you just have to connect this upper part, and that's it. And again, adding one more over there, and yeah, quickly building our fence. Now it's just a matter of a little adjusting, to the thickness and the size. And here we really, this is just, maybe even going a little bit too much. Whether it'll be seen in the final render, I really don't know, but it's such a quick thing to create. So I said, what the hey, and created this bolt here, just in case it is visible. It's going to add a nice touch of detail and realism to the image. And as they say, God is in the details. So if this does come up in the render, that's going to be pretty cool. So just adding a bolt there. A quick thing, really a small addition, but it can't hurt. So and I'll position it in the subtouch mode, just to make sure it's touching nicely to the fence. Was a bit too round, so I decided, just to push these edges a bit closer to each other to make it a bit sharper. And I'll just mirror it to get the other side as well. And I'm just kind of jittering it up. We want to lose that mirrored feeling again here. So just kind of changing the form a little bit. And yeah, that's it. But again, before we sign off, I want to just make sure that we're really happy with the results, because we are going to array this, into the whole fence, and later it's going to be difficult, if not impossible, to make these changes. So I'm just, kind of double checking things, and wanted to make these ornaments a little bit bigger to add a little bit more space in the whole fence. I did like the way they looked, and the feeling that they set. And yeah, that's just the top, this pointy top, and we'll be done with the model of the fence that we're going to array and create the whole fence with. So yeah, don't rush about it. Once you array this and make the whole fence, bend it and everything, it becomes very difficult to implement any changes, which are really quick to implement while you're creating this module. And we make a quick work out of the top. It's just a few bevels and a few stretches, and we have our pointy top. We don't want it to be really sharp, but still don't want it to be too dull, so kind of in between. And again, closing up that top, to remove all the 5-point polygons, and preferably 3-point polygons. Adding a little bit of extra subdivision to sharpen that area over there, and also this ornament beneath. So yeah, that is looking pretty good. Pretty happy with that. Just a little tweak here and tweak there, and yeah, happy with that. Perfect place to save our work, so we can always go back to this module should we ever want to change the fence. This is also a good spot to end this session, and in the next session we're going to wrap up modeling of the environment.